Ya Rasulallah, Ya Rasulallah.
Iranian state television showed footage of 9 long and medium-range missiles being launched on Wednesday. The missiles were fired during war games, and officials say they are a response to recent threats of attack by the US and Israel.
ما می‌خواهیم به همه عالم نشون بدیم کسانی که با ادبیات تهدید سیاست خارجی خودشون رو علیه جمهوری اسلامی ایران تعقیب می‌کنند بدانند که دست ما همواره بر روی ماشه است. صدها و بلکه هزاران موشک آماده پرتاب و شلیک به سمت هدف‌های مشخص و از پیش تعیین شده ما هستند و ما دشمنانمون رو در زمین و آسمان تعقیب می‌کنیم و آماده هستیم در نزدیک زمان ممکن عکس‌العمل‌های قدرتمندی رو به تهدیدات دشمن بدیم.
State media reported that the missiles included a new version of the Shahab-3 missile with a range of 1,250 miles. In a report in 2005, David Eisenberg, senior analyst with the Washington-based British-American Security Information Council and an adjunct scholar at the Cato Institute, stated that the Shahab-3 is a scaled-up version of the Russian Scud-B and Scud-C missiles. The accuracy, at its range of 800 miles, has been estimated at no better than 2 miles of its target. The drill came less than a day after Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad said he saw no possibility of a war with the United States or Israel. In June, Israel's military sent warplanes over the eastern Mediterranean for a large military exercise that U.S. officials described as a possible rehearsal for a strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. In Tehran on Wednesday, there were mixed reactions to the missiles' launch.
دندون نشون میدن خب اینا هم باید چنگاشون رو نشون بدن در اصل ولی هیچ اتفاقی نمیفته. اگه قرار باشه که آمریکا یا اسرائیل تهدید کنن ایرانی‌ها عکس‌العمل نشون ندن اونجوری شاید بدتر باشه. یعنی به نظر من این عکس‌العملی که ایران نشون داده مثبته چون ما تهدید نکردیم اونا ما رو تهدید کردن ما هم داریم نشون میدیم که اگر تهدیدی باشه ما میتونیم جلوشون وایسیم.
Though tensions have risen, an Israeli military historian dismissed the possibility of a confrontation between Israel and Iran as unlikely.
They know very well that to attack Israel is suicide. In fact, it is the fastest way to put an end to a 5,000-year-old civilization. They are not crazy. They are not very eager to go to heaven. They will be deterred by Israel, just as the nuclear deterrence has worked everywhere else in the world, without one exception, since 1945.
U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates was asked about the Iranian missile tests.
Are we any closer to a military confrontation with Iran?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody recognizes what the consequences of any kind of a conflict would be. And I will tell you that this government is working hard to make sure that the diplomatic and economic approach to dealing with Iran and trying to get the Iranian government to change its policies is the strategy and is the approach that continues to dominate.
Democratic presidential candidate Barack Obama, on all 3 major network morning shows on Wednesday, called for tougher sanctions and direct diplomacy.
Well, I think we've got to gather up all the intelligence necessary with the situation, but there's no doubt that we're seeing rising tensions in the area, and it's part of the reason why it's so important for us to have a coherent policy with respect to Iran. It has to combine much tougher threats of economic sanctions with direct diplomacy, opening up channels of communication so that we avoid provocation, but we give strong incentives for the Iranians to change their behavior.
In an interview on NBC, Republican candidate John McCain continued to claim that Iran's goals are nuclear weapons and the destruction of Israel.
Well, it's very disturbing, and it's part of the trend of the acquisition of nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them on the part of the Iranians, who continue to state their commitment to the extinction of the State of Israel. So it's very disturbing. We need to act very closely with our friends and allies, both in Europe and in other regions, to impose meaningful, effective sanctions on the Iranians.
Appearing before the House Foreign Relations Committee, Under-Secretary of State William Burns said that a nuclear threat from Iran is not yet possible.
While deeply troubling, Iran's real nuclear progress has been less than the sum of its boasts. It has not yet perfected enrichment, and as a direct result of UN sanctions, Iran's ability to procure technology or items of significance for its nuclear and missile programs, even dual-use items, has been impaired.